Did you know Venus spins in the opposite direction from most other planets, including Earth, so on Venus the sun rises in the west. A day there lasts a little more than 243 Earth days. The long days are a result of the sun's strong pull on the planet. There is no explanation for the retrograde rotation. There is only theories such as Venus initially spun in the same direction as most other planets, but it simply flipped its axis 180 degrees at some point due to sun's gravitational pull, or Venus was struck billions of years ago by a planet-sized object. The strong impact caused the rotation to change directions or flip the planetary axis. Subscribe for more.
Mike the headless chicken lost his head in the usual rooster way in 1945. Mrs. Olson, wife of a farmer, decided to have chicken for dinner. Mrs. Olson took Mike to the chopping block and axed off his head. Mike got up and soon began to strut around. What Mrs. Olson's axe had done was to clip off most of the skull but leave intact one ear, the jugular vein, and the base of the brain, which controls motor function. Mike the rooster lived for 18 months after his head had been cut off, surviving because most of his brain stem remained intact and it did not bleed to death due to a blood clot. Once his fame had been established, Mike began a career of touring sideshows in the company of such other anomalies as a two-headed baby, and it was featured in Time and Life magazines. Mike the Headless Chicken is a cultural institution in Fruita, Colorado, with an annual Mike the Headless Chicken Day. Subscribe for more.
Did you know Boeing used potatoes to test their in-flight Wi-Fi? Can you imagine how Boeing tested their in-flight Wi-Fi? Potatoes. Yes, potatoes. And do you know why? Potatoes reflect and absorb Wi-Fi signals the same way as human bodies do. Boeing project is called SPUDS, which means for synthetic personnel using dialectic substitution. Just like a spud. In October of 2022, NASA took a picture of the sun with a smiling face, right before Halloween. The picture was so viral that even NASA called it Smiling Sun, and most newspapers posted as breaking news. The picture shows 3 large dark spots on the sun's surface in the shape of a smiling face. According to NASA, these dark patches on the sun are known as coronal holes and are regions where fast solar wind gushes out into space. Only 1 month later, NASA took another picture of the sun, this time with a fury face. Subscribe for more.
Researchers discovered that plants can communicate with bees. Plants may have a secret power for knowing when to lure pollinators. Flowers may be big antennas for bees' electrical signals. They might use the signals to communicate when to trigger nectar production, acting as antennas for bees' electrical signals and transmit those signals through the soil. A bee's flapping wings trigger even a small voltage difference in plants as demonstration of communication. This form of electrical communication implies information exchange that's much faster than chemical communication. In the new study, researchers designed antennas to give off signals that mimic those produced by a bee's wings flapping in an electric field. Also placed pieces of metal, or electrodes, on flower stems. By measuring the variation in voltage at the stem surface, the researchers could infer if the plants could detect the signal. Subscribe for more.
Is the sun dying? The sun is at the age of around 4.57 billion years, so it is currently in its comfortable middle age. Yes, the sun will eventually die. The sun's evolutionary process will continue for more 5 billions of years before the hydrogen fuel runs out in its core, and changes begin in the fusion process. The sun will swell into a red giant star, lowering its surface temperature in the process. A study found out that the sun will reach a maximum temperature of approximately 8 billion years of age, before starting to cool down and increase in size. It will become a red giant star around 10 to 11 billion years of age. The sun will reach the end of its life after this phase, when it eventually becomes a dim white dwarf. Subscribe for more.
There is a planet made of diamond. Super-Earth named 55 Cancri E is made of diamond. It was discovered in 2004 around a nearby star in our Milky Way galaxy. It's composed mainly of carbon, in the form of diamond and graphite. This is our first glimpse of a rocky world with a different chemistry from Earth. The surface of this planet is likely covered in graphite and diamond rather than water and granite. 55 Cancri E is the first likely diamond planet to be identified around a sun-like star. It has a radius twice as wide as that of our own planet and a mass 8 times greater. It's about 40 light-years away from us, is locked in a hyperspeed tidal orbit to its star. The planet is 25 times closer to its sun than Mercury is to our sun. It is so close in to the star that its surface temperature reaches 3,900 degrees Fahrenheit, 2,100 degrees Celsius, making it too hot for life.